अच्छा चल रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा? नमस्ते जी, आप सब कैसे हैं? So today we are here with the first live session in English. Last Sunday I had a live session in Spanish, and today we are going to have this live session in English. Here you can ask your questions about Hindi language, and if you are having any doubts regarding the first 33 tutorials that we have done until now. So I'm expecting some 5 people to come here. Um, I mean, join this live session, at least 5. Okay. Till I'll wait some time for other people to come, other people to arrive. Till other people arrive, I can just tell you some facts about Hindi. So the first 3-4 minutes, let me talk about from where the words Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan, these words came from. Well, let's we have 4 people right now, so for the we will wait some more for other people to come to arrive. Until then, I'll explain you from where the word Hindi, Hindustan, Hindu came from. Well, when the travelers, the Persian travelers, the travelers from Middle East and European travelers came from their lands to India, what they encountered was a very big river, a very long river, which divided South Asia. Good morning, Mariji. Namaste ji. The river that divides South Asia from the rest of the continent. Now, if I show you the map of South Asia, here existed somewhat here exists a river. The river's name was Sindhu River. Now, when Persians arrived in India, they crossed this river. They called it in their language as Hindu. And as the word traveled to Europe, the Greeks pronounced it Indo. So from this word Hindu came the word Hindustan. Hindustan was the land that lied between the Sindhu River and the Indian Ocean. At the south, there was Indian Ocean. At the north, there was the Sindhu River, which the Middle East people called Hindu. So the land between the Sindhu River and the Indian Ocean was called Hindustan, and the people who lived in Hindustan were called Hindus. And the language that they spoke uh, got the name of Hindi, but the word Hindi was coined very much later than the word Hindu and Hindustan. However, the word Hindu earlier was not used for religion, it was used as a geographical identity. So from Hindustan came Hindu, and later on came the word Hindustani. The language we spoke used to be called Hindustani, and from that also derived the word Hindi. And as the Greek used to call Indo, from Indo came the word India. So I think it's clear. From Sindhu came Hindu and Indo. From Hindu, the word came Hindustan and Hindustani, and from Indo came India. Now I've already spent 4 minutes in explaining from where the words Hindustan and Hindu came. We already have 5 people, so I think I can start with your questions. So I'm waiting for your comments. Your comments can be about the history of the language, maybe about what we have learned in the first 33 tutorials. And if you have any other doubt regarding writing, regarding the grammar that we have learned, Namaste ji. Zenwen Lee has said namaste, so I also say namaste. Now I'm waiting for your questions. Till then, I can answer some common questions that people might have. One of the most common question that I heard was how to pronounce your name. People find it a bit difficult to pronounce my name. So if I write it, my name is Saurabh. Well, Saurabh has three letters. So if I write in Hindi, just a second, this is the spelling of my name. Saurabh. So if I write in Hindi, it has three letters. Sa, Ra, Bh. Okay. Sa, Ra, Bh. Now the problem is about this vowel. Just a second. 1 minute. So the first letter has two parts, the consonant S and the vowel O. The vowel O has two regional variations. For example, in the area of Delhi, let's divide it into two parts. Let's say Delhi and Varanasi. Near Delhi, it is pronounced as O. Near Varanasi, it's pronounced like Au. So you can call me Saurabh or you can also call me Saurabh. Nothing is wrong. Both are correct. So, नमस्ते जी सौरभ. नमस्ते जी. उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप ठीक हैं. So I'm waiting. If you have any questions, we have Mary Ziver, we have Zenwin Lee, and we have Randy Batista. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Till then, let me have a look at some more common questions. May I come in, teacher ji? Haji, you can come in. So I think this is Bozal. Where are you in India? I'm in Delhi, you know, the capital of India. So I'm in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. And there is one more common question. What is the difference between Hindi and Urdu? Well, as you must be knowing that Hindi and Urdu actually are two standard variations of the Hindustani language. Hindustani language is a pluricentric language. A pluricentric language is a language that has more than one standard forms, usually used in different countries. So, Urdu is the official language of Pakistan. Hindi is one of the two official languages of India, the other being English. So Hindustani is a pluricentric languages which has two standard forms. One is Urdu and one is Hindi. Both Urdu and Hindi, both the forms of Hindustani have use different script. Urdu uses Nastaliq script, Hindi uses Devanagari script. The difference between standard forms and what we speak is a lot. But why is it so? Because what we speak is actually a mixture of Hindi vocabulary and Urdu vocabulary. The grammar of Hindi and Urdu is almost the same. Okay, so but in India we use more Hindi vocabulary than in Pakistan. In Pakistan they use more Urdu vocabulary. Urdu vocabulary are made in majority those words that came from Persian or Arabic. Okay. While Hindi vocabulary, when I say Hindi vocabulary, it is the Sanskritized version of Hindustani. Urdu is the Persianized version of Hindustani. So it's like two languages have been created out of one source. Okay, and one is being Sanskritized and other was being Persianized. Raj Sahanji, which dialect of Hindi do you teach? Well, Raj Sahanji, I teach the Hindustani dialect. When I say Hindustani dialect, I mean the language that is taught in the movies. Sorry, the language that is spoken in the movies, the language that is that you can hear in the songs. The language that you can hear near Delhi, the North Indian part and the West UP side. Sometimes I notice people change the form of आप कैसे हैं into कैसे हैं आप. Yes, this is what I am going to teach in tutorial number 34. That is the next tutorial. Questions like आप कैसे हैं in any question, in Hindi, in statements as well as in questions. Almost every sentence ends with a verb. आप कैसे हैं? मैं ठीक हूँ. The sentence end with हैं, हूँ. Word. मेरा नाम सौरभ है. Word. है. आपका नाम क्या है? है. Word. So the sentences as well as the questions end with the verb. But in the case of questions, we can place the subject at the end also. This is not the standard form. This is how we communicate. So this you might not find in grammar books that teach standard Hindi, but on streets, in movies and in songs, you will find people saying "Kaise hain aap" in place of "aap kaise hain," or you can hear "Kahan se hain aap" instead of "aap kahan se hain." The first word, the subject, can be placed at the end. Okay, कहाँ से हैं आप instead of आप कहाँ से हैं. ये क्या है instead of saying ये क्या है, we can ask क्या है ये instead of asking ये कौन है, who is he or who is she. We can also ask कौन है ये. Okay, so there are two variations. In one, the standard form in which subject, the question starts with the subject or the pronoun and ends with the verb. The second form is not the standard form, but is a verbal form, only a verbal form, in which the subject or the pronoun can be placed at the end of the sentence. So, Zinwen Lee has asked, so when I learn Hindi, I'm actually learning Urdu and Hindi. Exactly, yes. When you, well, it depends. Zinwen Lee asked, when I'm learning Hindi, I'm learning actually Urdu and Hindi. Well, you must not classify, you cannot separate. The language that we speak is a mixture. So we call it Hindustani. Okay, we don't see speaking Urdu and speaking Hindi as different things. For example, the Hindi word of sky is Akash and some more synonyms. And the Urdu word for sky is Asman. But you see in India, or you say in North India, the word Asman is more popular. I would say 70% or 75% of people around Delhi, North India, West Uttar Pradesh, people say Asman. The rest of people, only less percentage of people say Akash. But they still don't say that I'm speaking Urdu. Okay, because it's just a mixture. So your question is, when I'm learning Hindi, I'm learning actually Urdu and Hindi both. But it depends from where are you learning. If your book, the book from where you are learning, teaches standard Hindi, you might not be learning Urdu words. Okay. Grammar of Urdu and Hindi is the same. But if you, in some books that teach the Hindustani dialect, okay, so there you will find Urdu words also. For example, in this channel, I teach the language that is spoken normally, that is the Hindustani dialect, the language that you will find in the movies. So I hope I have answered the question correctly, satisfactorily. Now I am waiting for any questions if you have, or shall I think of a common question? I see. Okay, you see. Thank you. And so there are only 5 people. If anyone has any more questions, they can ask. The length of the video will, the live session will obviously depend on if I'm receiving questions or not. So if there are no more questions, we can end up it in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It's already been 15 minutes. Namaste, Claudia ji. Randy asked about possessives. Sorry. Let me check. Randy, I have a doubt in the possessives. Yes. But the question was not clear. What is your doubt? Yes. Yeah. Please ask. What is the issue? Was there a Western influence on Hindi? Okay. By the word Western, you mean to ask Middle East or even further west? You mean Europe? Obviously, we have an influence of Europe as well as Middle East. There are many words that have come from Portuguese, come from, you can say, English, the words that have come from Arabic, the words that have come from Persian and Turkish also. So almost the major languages of the West, the Middle East and Europe have touched Hindi. Mari Ziwa asked me, can you talk about the difference in RN? I just started to learn Hindi. I have hard time with the matras. So Zenwan Lee, didn't you watch the tutorial number 21 to 25? I think I have explained them well. Have you watched my videos? The words like balti comes from Portuguese. You can say in Spanish also, bucket is called balde. In Hindi, a bucket is called balti. So balti is very close to Portuguese. It has come from Portuguese. Just a second, 8 minutes. Okay. Someone is texting. So we have had East India Company in India. We have English East India Company. We have had French East India Company. We have Dutch East India Company, and we have Portuguese ports. Okay, so we have effects of French as well as you can say Dutch, Portuguese, and English, of course. We also have Turkish influence because the Mughals have their क्या बोलते हैं यार जो पहले आए थे यार ancestry. The ancestors of Mughals, the Mughal Empire, comes from Turkish. Okay, not yet. I just started. We'll check. Thanks. So, what was the question about possessives? And Mary Ziver, I could not understand your question. Can you talk about the difference in R? Are you trying to ask me the difference between R and R? R and R, I think. From lesson 26. Okay, I understand. Your doubt is regarding the two letters, that is R and R. So there are R, एक just ऐसी की तैसी, R and R. These are the two letters. This one is R, like the Spanish R or Arabic Ra. Okay, not exactly equal, not exactly equal to the English R, but close to that. The second one is Ada. Okay, Ada, I've been using an R for denoting R and an R with a dot below to denote Ada. Now, the question is, what is the difference between the pronunciation? Well, R is similar as, you can pronounce it as the simple English R. Okay, there's no issue with that. You can pronounce R with same as the English R. But in case of R is a retroflex flap. Okay, just pay attention if you really want to know about the pronunciation of ada. It's called retroflex flap. Let's pay attention to these two words. What does retroflex means? Retroflex mean an a letter, a consonant in which we have to invert the tongue. Invert the tongue. The tongue is not straight. The tongue is in inverted position in order to pronounce a retroflex consonant. Okay. So when we pronounce t, th, d, d, can you see? T, th, d, d. I'm inverting my tongue and then pushing it forward. So these are the retroflex stop consonants. And another word is flap. The retroflex flap. When I say flap, it means a hit. So the tongue is in a hanging position, and as we push it forward, it hits the roof of the mouth. Ada, 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 ada. Okay. So this way we get the sound of r. Okay, but while we pronounce r, the tongue is in a bowl shape. Okay, it's like r. This is the roof of the mouth and this is the tongue. And r, the tip of the tongue touches the palate. Okay, so r, and r. If it is still not clear, you can send me a message. Okay, so please tell me, is it clear or not? Can you hear the difference between r and ada? R, ada, r, ada, r, ada. Can you show between the difference between nya and ana? Okay, Zenwen Lee has asked me, can you show me the difference between nya and ana? Please give examples. Okay, I'm giving examples. Your name is Raj. Okay, so Raj has R. Okay, then we have paid. Ram. Let's say Kamra. And Ladki. So here I have written two words with R and two words with Ada. Okay, so this is Raj. Okay, R-A-J. Raj, which is a name. This is Kamara. Kamara. Kamra. Okay. Kamara. Kamra. Kamra means a room. This word is paid. 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 Okay. Paid means tree. This word is ladki. Ladki. Ladki means girl. Ladki. Okay. Now, nya and ana. Well, genuinely, I suggest you to put these letters. Well, obviously, you want to learn. You want to learn how to speak Hindi. So I suggest you knowing about these two consonants that are the nasal consonants. We have 5 nasal consonants: ñ, 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 n, and mo. Okay. Maybe if I explain you right now, I don't know what is your level in Hindi, how much you know Hindi. Okay. So I think you might not be able to understand if I explain the phonetics of the letters ñ and ñ. I can pronounce them for you. The first letter that you have written is ñ. It is never used in Hindi along with a vowel, rather used as conjugated form with the consonants of the second group. Okay, the second letter was ñ. Okay, nya, Marizivar. Okay, can this be considered for the uppercase R and lowercase r in sound like is in Spanish? Well, I do not know if sound exists in Spanish. Well, I have not learned that sound exists in Spanish. Sound exists in Hindi and Urdu. What exists in Spanish is like single like pero, or perro. It's rolling and not rolling. So it's single R and double R. It's single R and double R. In Hindi too, we have single R and double R. Okay, consecutive R. That sounds like perro or like rompe cabeza. Okay. So it's not like Spanish. Is not like Spanish. We don't roll the tongue when we pronounce There's a difference. The first word that you said, Mari Ziva, the first thing that you said was small r, single like pero, r. The second was perro, r, like rolling the tongue. R. Okay, this is when we pronounce double r, the consecutive r. And the third is r. R does not exist in Hindi, English, Portuguese. Sorry, does not exist in English, Portuguese, Spanish, French, these European language. Okay, R exists in Hindi and Urdu. Apart from these language, I don't know. Pero. Daniel, okay, Namaste Samuel ji, कैसे हैं? How do we pronounce 26 and 24? Obviously, there is a difference. If we are having a different spelling, obviously we will have a different pronunciation. So the first one you said was 26. Okay, 26. The second one was 24. Okay, 24 is 24, 24. 26 is 26. So you're asking this, and we have not learned in this in our tutorials. It's okay. Actually, the order that I'm keeping is according to you will be able to know about 26 and 24 when we learn the consonants of the second group. Okay, so it will come soon. We have learned the numbers till 20. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 and 20. Okay, soon when we start the second streak of writing lessons, we will learn these numbers up to 50 also. Okay, so till 30. Oh really, we have learned till 30? Okay, so are your doubts cleared? Is any question unanswered? Are there the name Alex is spelled Alice? Really? Alex, isn't it like Alex? Tutorial 27. Alex, Alex, Alex. Okay, where we have a k without a vowel and a consecutive consonant, which is s, which creates a x sound. Alex. Yes, I did 27 tutorial. So we've already had 30 minutes. We already have completed 30 minutes. So let's wrap it up. If there are no more questions, battery is running low. Okay, let me put it on charging. ऐसी की तैसी. ठीक है? Fine. Oh, okay. So let me wait for one more minute to see if there are any more questions or not. Till then, I can drink some water. Pani, pani, water, pani. Kela, kela, banana. ठीक है. और ढक्कन, a lid is called ढक्कन. बोतल, ढक्कन, ढक्कन. What keyboard do you recommend? केला मीठा है. Keyboard app. Sorry, Gboard app. Gboard app is the Google app by Google, which I found the best because in that I can have Arabic keypad, Russian keypad, and the Greek keypad, and Urdu keypad, and Hindi keypad, and anyone that I want, and any number of keypads that I want. So Gboard is the best that I have seen so far. So some more objects. Rumal, rumal, handkerchief, pañuelo, rumal. Okay, rumal. Let me write it. Ra with a short u. I'm still waiting if there are anything else. If there are no more questions left, please you can comment that there are no more questions left. Till then, I can write rumal. Rumal, rumal, rumal. चल भाई साहब शाबाश. रुमाल, रुमाल. ठीक है, दिख रहा है. The name Parul, Parul. Parul. Okay, Parul. Okay, Parul. That U in the, oh, I think you don't watch the videos completely, or do you skip the things? In tutorial number 25, I had explained why the U in R is written differently. Well, the reason is in all the letters we have a vertical line. You can see L, a vertical line, or some structure to support the U. Yeah, we have a vertical line to support it, but in R, in case of R, we don't have a vertical line. Okay, we don't have any structure to support R. So we have to place U somewhere. So that's why we place the short U and the long U in the mid. Oh, had I explained it in tutorial 25? Or maybe it was like I explained in the Spanish lesson and didn't explain in the English lesson, or was it vice versa? Or I have explained in both, I don't remember. So let me tell it once more. This is the short U, ru, and this is the long ru, ru. Okay. And also in the photograph, in the photo of all the letters that you showed me yesterday, there was a table in which there were all the letters we have learned till now. I think I had written ru and ru in different color. If you have a look at that, you can find that ru and ru were written in different color. So yes, I finished it. Yes, the O is on the bottom in Sumit. Can I also say आप किधर से हैं? Where are you from? Since कहाँ किधर में है? आप किधर से? अरे तुम किधर से हो? किधर से आए हो? हाँ, yes. But it's not very popular to ask तुम किधर से हो? There are regional variations. If you go to Mumbai, okay, The native language in Maharashtra or Mumbai is Marathi. So there people use the word kidhar more than kaha. If you come to Delhi, Hindi is the native language. People use kaha more than kidhar. But if you say aap kidhar se hain, although it sounds a bit weird, but you will be understood. Okay, because aap kahan se hain is a formal sentence. You know that aap kahan se hain is a formal sentence, and kidhar is a slang word. Okay, so we usually don't use slang words in formal sentences. So aap kahan se hain sounds better. Kidhar is used in more casual, casual contexts. So 25. Okay. और कुछ है? Is there anyone right here right now who has watched till tutorial number 33? So we have completed, I have recorded and uploaded up to tutorial number 33. So I think Mari, Ziver and Daniel Samuel have reached 28. Can we use kidhar among friends? Yes, yes, of course. अरे भाई तू किधर है? तू किधर है मीन्स वेयर आर यू? तू तू किधर रह गया? और अरे मेरा पेन किधर है? मेरी बोतल किधर है? So you can obviously use kidhar at home, with friends, at school, with colleagues. Okay. But when you say you are in a formal, conversation, you use kaha. I'm on 28. ठीक है. 28 पर है. So and I just want to ask, the doubt of r was cleared or not? Most of the letters you will see sa, ma, na, la. You have learned pa, and we also learned ka, na, ma, sa, ra, ha. Okay. All these letters, all these consonants have something at the bottom to support the oo sound. But ra, which in calligraphy, अरे कहाँ गया यार? Screen कहाँ गई? Yes. In calligraphy, in stylish handwriting, r can be stretched long. Okay. So if I write the oo and oo below r, this seems something, not beautiful. So that's why we place the oo and oo in the middle, like this. ठीक है? रू. Raj Sananji, I have just subscribed. So yet to start the course. Looking forward to it. ठीक है राज जी. Okay. I see. ठीक है. So shall we wrap it up? We are about to complete, I think, 45 minutes, 40 minutes. So if there are more questions, we can continue. If there are no more questions, I can end the stream. So just waiting one more minute to see if there are any more questions. और कोई चीज ड्रॉ में देखूं क्या क्या है. जैसे okay, and I told you what is this called. What is this called in Hindi? Chashma. Chashma. Let me write it once. Actually, chashma is comes from Urdu, maybe Persian. Okay, but I can say that more than 90% people, or more than 19% people, Hindi speakers, use the word Chashma, chashma. Okay, chashma means these, the specs, the spectacles. In Hindi, the Hindi word is anak, anak. Just a second, anak. Can you see it? This is the Hindi word, but I haven't heard anyone speaking anak in normal conversations. Okay, so I think there is some comment. Yes, anak, exactly. शुक्रिया जी ठीक है ओके ठीक है तो फिर चलते हैं नमस्ते I hope that your questions were answered well and here we end this live stream in which we did a session of question and answers of 41-42 minutes. So just after this, I'm going to record the tutorial number 34A, 34B, 34C to give a revision of what we learned is in the first four lessons, or you can say in the lesson 3 and 4, we learned basic words. In the lesson number 5, we learned numbers from 0 to 10. In lesson number 6, we learned a first basic conversation. In lesson number 9, we learned to ask and answer, where are you from? In lesson number 10, we learned possessives, the basic ones. Lesson number 11, we learned how to say what is this, what is that, and how to respond it. 14 and 15 were related to writing Hindi. In lesson number 16, we learned how to write plurals. 18 and 19, we learned the verb to be. The lesson number 21 to 25 were again writing lessons. To 28, 21 to 28 were writing lessons, and from after 28 we have started the grammar again. फिर मिलेंगे जी नमस्ते भीगी भीगी सड़कों पे मैं कहाँ से खत्म हो गई तेरा इंतजार करूं धीरे